Hey Power Appers, welcome back to Power Apps Academy. Today we're going to be not looking at coding per se, but we're going to be looking at ideas for you guys to develop apps. So let's say you've opened up Power Apps, you've started developing, and you're going, how can I start making a difference in my business using Power Apps? So we're going to briefly touch on a few apps that's been developed, that I've been involved with, and how these can help you. So just to give you some ideas, we'll run through them. I'll probably get through about 3 today, and we'll do another video covering some other apps. So what are we going to be doing today? I think we're going to be looking at a timesheet app, just a very quick run through of what it looks like, what it does, a IT ordering app, and like a Launchpad app that you can just plug into Teams. So we're going to cover off those 3. Just to note that all these applications are use SharePoint, so they don't require any additional costly connectors. So it's things that you can develop without additional cost pretty easily within your business. Just before we go, just please remember to smash up that like button. It really helps our channel, and if you can share this stuff, that would be great too. But hopefully watch it, go through it, get some ideas, and then take some inspiration away of what you can do with Power Apps within your business with the license that you've hopefully got, which is the standard user license. Right, so let's hop over into the app demos. Just 1 second. So the first app that we're going to be looking at is an ordering app. Now this is set up for ordering IT hardware, laptops, monitors, that kind of stuff. But it can be used for anything that you need to order. It could be food ordering menu or whatever. So all of these are made within the Canvas App Studio within Power Apps, and the backends are all SharePoint. Some of them use Power Automate for sending emails and stuff like that, but you don't need to use Power Automate. You can configure it within the app themselves. So let's have a look at this IT ordering app. Now it looks a bit weird on screen, but it's designed to be installed on a mobile device. So you can install Power Apps on a mobile device, and this can come up, and it's all configured for touchscreen. So you just click on these with your finger. That's a much better user experience if you're using your mobile device, but we're going to show you this demo just on the screen here. So let's say there's a few functionality we've got built in here. You can change or swap because it's to do with ordering new hardware. There's also this, so if there might be some hardware that's already doesn't need to be ordered, but it's in stock, and you want to change your device, so you can just say, I've got a laptop, put your service tag number or whatever it is, and then you can say, do you want to decommission it, do you want to return it to stock, do you want to swap device. So sometimes you might have an office where you don't actually have IT people on site, but you've actually got spare IT equipment and you want to keep track of it. So if you want to get people to say swap the device in that location, what's the reason, need a better device, what's the service tag of the device that they're taking, would you like service desk to contact you, you can say, and then you just submit the hardware change, and that sends an email off, just notifying the IT department that you've done something so that they can update their documentation for that item. So that's just a something that can help you. But the main functionality of this one is this order new hardware. So you come into here, this is just a screen that gives you some information. Continue with order. Now if there's a lot of things to select from, you might want to have a filter. So in here we've developed a filter where is it a new starter? If yes, on the back end there's a SharePoint list, lots of SharePoint lists that this refers to, and in that it says, like, is this a bundle for, like, they might have a new starter bundle which consists of a monitor, a laptop, and a few other things. So this will narrow it down to those bundles, or you might have like high spec ones that are only for directors and things like that. I've also got that filter on here as well. So this will limit it to only showing those that are relevant to the filter criteria on here, whatever you've chosen. and then this is the screen where you can select the items from. These are other additional filter buttons if you only want to show desktops, or if you want to remove the filter, you can click here. But you can see now it's really easy for the user to select from. There's a new starter high performance bundle, and it tells you what it is there. If you click into it, it tells you what it is, tells you what the specification is, which roles these for, and the estimated cost, and then you can select how many you want. So let's say we only want one, that's the cost. It tells you the subtotal, it automatically calculates that. You can add it to your basket. So this is a typical shopping basket. As I said before, could be anything, it could be clothes, could be shoes, whatever it is that you want to do. So we check out, you can see that this is the item that we've selected, and there's one in there. Confirm that you've double checked everything's correct. So in finalize request, now it takes you through to the next part, which is getting manager's approval. You don't have to have this, but if you want to have your manager's approval in there, it does some checks in here. Yes, basically this is your manager. Yes, I have my managers approved it. That's just a validation. Next, where do you want it delivered? You can have your locations in there. Is it a home address? You might want to check that if it's you. You've got to post it to home address. What department do you want to charge it to? Does the user have a device to return? And then when does it need to be ready by? This defaults 2 weeks time, but you can do it whenever you want, or they could change it to whatever date they want using a date picker. What's the reason? Is it a new starter? Who's the new hardware for? Anyone in particular? This is just a free text field, and then next, and then who's going to do the purchase? Is it going to be the IT team, or is it going to be a staff member? And then any additional information, and then you just place the order with the app. What that does is it creates a reference number, sends an email to different people, the service desk team and whoever else needs to be aware of that order, and that's configurable within the app. And then that allows the teams to go ahead and place the order, or if it's selected that the person who's submitting this has the approval to place the order for themselves, and they can go ahead and do that. And this just allows you to keep track of the hardware, have some standardization in what is being ordered, and if you've got a distributed business, then this just helps consolidate and automate this process, because this might be a very manual one, sending emails. Now it's automated. You have standard responses. You make sure you're collecting all the information, making sure you have the approvals and that kind of stuff. And this is where Power Apps is great, right? Because it's allowing you to automate all these processes that might have been before really clunky and manual and not very good. This is available on a mobile, so anyone can click it up. You can also put permissions around who can order and that kind of stuff. So that's one idea. As I said, this is for IT equipment, but it could be for anything really. So hopefully that sparked some interest. Right, let's have a look at another option. Just a reminder that all of this is with the default licenses that you might have for Power Apps. Okay, you don't need special connectors or anything like that. It uses SharePoint lists as your data sources as well. Another example of an app is this Timesheet app. Okay, timesheets are really popular within businesses. Sometimes if you want to create timesheets, they are in maybe Excel spreadsheets, or they paper-based, and they can be really painful to try and manage. So this is again just a Canvas app in Power Apps with some SharePoint lists as the data sources, data stores or databases in the back end. So no additional licenses required. This is the launch screen, so you can say I want to add, update new timesheet, add or update the timesheets. I can click on here. I can select the date I want to do for the timesheet. Let's say the 15th. I can put any date in here. It'll work it out to the first day of that week. And then who's the manager? I'll just put myself. Okay, and then it's this has a static view of the timesheet. You can see there's a number of rows in there. You could have it where you have dynamic rows, but for this example, this is just static, where you have like a static holiday column, a row, sorry, a sick row. No, you don't have to fill these in, but you might want to. And then you have a BAU for any stuff that you do, which is just general BAU. And then if you have projects, you can select your project, and there's a project. If you want to add new projects to the list, you can do that over here by adding a project name. So new office build or something like that. Use the project manager. You could say yeah, just whoever's in your list. Add project to list. Cool. And you can see project added successfully. So now if I come down here, I can actually select my new project over here, and it has all that information. So I can have up to 4 projects that I can be working on for any given week. So that I think should be sufficient. And then let's say I was on holiday. Oh, just over here you've got, like, this is your contracted working hours. It could be 8 hours, could be, you know, whatever it is. This is, some countries have a maximum hours you can work per day. You can update those to whatever your business is, and then that helps determine whether you have added enough hours, like the amount that you've worked per day, or if you've worked over, if any overtime is required. So let's say I was on holiday for 7.6 hours, which is you know, my standard working hours, and then I worked Tuesday. I was on BAU for that. Wednesday, let's say I worked 9. You can see now overtime has been applied there. Thursday, let's say I only worked 5. You can see I haven't worked all my hours there. I've worked 0.7 of a day. And then let's say on Friday I worked on a new office build for 3 hours, and I worked BAU for let's say 4.6. There we go. Now I've worked my full day. I can put in any notes that I want to do here. So I was on holiday on Monday. Okay, just some random notes. I've also got a calculator in here. If you want to calculate, if someone wasn't sure how many hours they've worked, they could put in the start time. Let's say they started work at 9 o'clock and they took lunch at 11 o'clock, and they ended lunch at 12 o'clock, and then they ended work at, let's say, 5:30. Yeah, I've worked 7.5 hours, so that calculator is also in there just to help people work out their hours. I can hide calculator. Now once I've got all the information in my timesheet, I just click Save Timesheet. That sets the status of the timesheet to not submitted but saved. Yeah, it's been saved. So if I go back to my main menu now, you can see I've got an entry here for my timesheet. It tells me what the week is for my timesheet, when I created it, who the approver is. I can see it's not submitted. Now that will always be there for my timesheets until it shows me a list of all my timesheets. I can go back into it and I can go, okay, well, cool, I've got everything there. I don't need to change it. When I'm ready to approve it, I click on Request Approval. Now you can see that's changed to pending approval. There's some emails being sent to managers who need to approve it. Let's go back to now, because I'm my own approving manager for this demo. You can see it's in pending approval state. Now, if it was your manager, they would then get this this message of timesheets to approve, not you, whoever's approving it. They would need to click on this approved timesheet, and then they could come in here, click on the timesheet to approve, review it. You can see they can't change anything in here. They've got all your notes, and once they're happy, so okay to approve. There's some, they can put in any comments they want over there, and then they can either reject it with a reason, and that allows you to go and update it, or they can approve it here by clicking it once it's okay. Now this takes a bit of time, because what it does, it takes a screenshot of this page, and then it emails it through to whatever email addresses you want. So there's a copy, a physical copy of the timesheet that you've submitted in someone's inbox that someone can print off. Okay, you can see that's all done. There's no more to approve. If there were others to approve, then I could then select them in there, and it automatically comes back saying you've got no more timesheets to approve. You can see my timesheet in here is now approved. There's a page over here. You can go in and add new projects like we did before. This is where you can update your contracted hours, your maximum hours, if you have any. And then there's also the default ones, which if you haven't updated yours, you'll default to these, which are also stored in a SharePoint list in the back end. So that's another great timesheet example for a Power App that you can develop. There's videos for these. Hopefully look in the links somewhere on the screen, and that should take you to the video which cover these off in more detail. Lastly, for the one for today, there's a digital Launchpad app, okay, which has also been developed in here, which basically, if you don't have an intranet but you want a place where people can go easily within a Microsoft centric business, you can create this digital Launchpad, which basically is an interactive screen which has links to all your Power Apps, but also links to all your main websites and that kind of stuff. So people I've actually linked this into Teams, so I've pinned it onto the launch bar over here. You can see it'll launch the digital Launchpad app, and then whoever's in Teams, they can just click on that, and then if they need to if they've got any things they need to do, you've got specific forms, you can go on here, and then they can just click go, and that will launch it. You can launch any of your apps from here that you've created. You can launch any websites that you have in here, and it's a really easy way that people can go to launch anything that you would like them to launch easily within your business. And it's integrated into Teams. So that's great. And yeah, again, do check out over at powerappify.com these apps, and also the videos for how they are configured. I've shared on the screen and also in the comments below. So do check it out. Let us know what you think of these apps. Let us also know in the comments the apps that you've built. Be really interested to see what apps you guys have built. Give inspiration to our fellow viewers and our Power Apps community. So thanks for getting involved. Wish you all the best on your Power Apps journey. Do check out our back catalogue of videos to help you improve your Power App skills. Otherwise, have a great week, and we'll speak to you soon.